Why is everything dying right now? Animals, trees. Why is everything radioactive right now? Bees, shrimp. Why is there toxic gas in the middle of Manhattan that's unaliving people right now? Can't stand that word. Come right back to this because this is massive. So this account right here, notice that the leaves were changing way earlier than usual, but at the same time, for weeks now, trees have been dying all over the United States. Colorado, California, really every single state, we have trees dying nonstop, and guess what? Like usual, nobody knows why. And you mean to tell me that while all these trees are unexpectedly, unknowingly dying, that we also have these radioactive wasps that just showed up, and they said it was because of a nuclear thing, but now we have radioactive shrimp as well? And not just radioactive bugs and radioactive bugs of the sea. Now we have a toxic vapor in Manhattan. Deadly vapor-borne disease rips through New York, killing 3 and hospitalizing dozens. Okay, hold on. Let's regroup and slow down. Again, all the trees are mysteriously dying. Radioactive bugs and bugs of the sea. And now we have these bunnies showing up with this crazy, what looks to me like mushrooms or mold popping out the side of their face. Coincidentally, again, at the same exact time, now we have these problems happening in squirrels as well. And also we have these zombie deer disease going crazy right this minute as well, all at the same time. And also, note to the wise, I've also broken down in past videos for you guys how radioactivity is similarly striking to spiritual energy and frequency. If you notice, the last week, the human frequency has been insane every single day and still doing things it never does. Or rarely. We have new patterns and blackouts and all sorts of things happening. Remember, back in the World War, they needed to get their nuclear cube to a reaction, and they were at, I believe, 665, possibly just 1 away. Or maybe it was 664 and 2 more needed. All these cracks going on in the Midwest. Of course, frequency literally triggers and manipulates earthquakes. By the way, completely 1000% unrelated, not relevant whatsoever, neither what I'm saying or what the radar is showing. Something incredibly odd has been going on. Whenever it rains real hard, I go outside and I smell bleach. Am I the only one? Let me know in the comments. Again, this is unrelated, I'm just telling you guys a story. And also, I've been hearing really strange sounds coming from the sky the last few days. And it was weird because when I took out my phone to record it, boom, silenced. You guys feeling anything weird lately? Maybe the last few days? Now, back to what's relevant. Things are getting extremely weird in 2025. Make sure you like or bookmark this post so you can find it later. You will need it. Why? Just wait.
This is crazy. This is all crazy.
Why are you sitting in your chair today? Does gravity pull you to the floor? No. There is no such thing as gravitational pull. We lied to you.
What was the scariest moment of the journey?
Scariest? It didn't happen. It could have been scary. Circuit breaker. It didn't happen.
Oh, now surely this is the right spot. Look at this. This area is filled with books about pretend people.
That's right, Grover. This is the fiction section. Fiction means it's a made-up story. This is the fiction section. Fiction means it's a made-up story.
Now, one thing I really want your generation to embrace is that the Earth is a closed system. We cannot leave the Earth. There's no place to go.
That stuff is flat.
I just looked up all of the people who died on the plane that hit the Pentagon on 9/11, and there's a list. There's a list of all the passengers that died on this plane that hit the Pentagon. And I mean, this just shows how far gone it is. I mean, not only did they lie about it, but they found 60 to 100 names and pictures of people that they put on this manifest to make it look like a plane. And not just that, they say they recovered the black box from the plane that hit the Pentagon. I just heard in an interview, Charlie Kirk claimed that they recovered the black box from the plane that hit the Pentagon. What?
Whenever somebody tells me that they don't believe in the paranormal, the first thing I'll usually ask them is what they think about the footage from inside the Watts family home right after Chris Watts murdered his wife and his children. Because I've seen a lot of paranormal footage that can easily be debunked, but I have never seen anybody be able to debunk these. And before I show you these, at first I thought that it wasn't fair that Chris Watts got life in prison rather than the death penalty. But after I found out that he is being haunted by his wife and his children that he murdered, 100%. That is absolutely the punishment that he deserved. Last year, he even came out and said that he's been seeing the spirits of his dead children in his cell. He is absolutely being haunted, and I love that for him.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. What in the world is that? Wow. Go in there and step on that little blue thing and see if that's where that...
Yeah, it sounded like a kid toy.
It sort of sounds like it.
Something. I heard it.
That one, did you hear it?
I did.
Does she work? Yeah, she works from home. Oh, from home? She works this is her lifeline. Yeah, that thing comes back. I'm just going to start blowing up. Oh, yeah. Interesting. It was shut down? Yeah. 1, 31, 80, 19.
This right here is why you need to question everything in life. This is a cymatic pattern. This is what happens when frequency is pitched into water. They're also shining a light on it. You can see the different patterns. Now watch this, guys. Now this is what the stars really look like when you zoom in on it with a high power zoom camera. The Nikon P1000, the camera that was discontinued after NASA allegedly bought them out. What a coincidence that is. What does this look like to you guys? This is why you need to question everything. The stars are frequencies of light within the waters above the firmament. NASA has been lying to you your whole entire life. Every single one of our ancestors told us we live under a dome or the firmament. There's waters above the firmament. The stars are on the firmament. Exactly what we see. Need to look within for the real answers. Peace out.
This is bad. Why are animals all around us turning into zombies? It's not just bunnies anymore, but we'll get to it. This guy recorded one of those zombie Frankenstein bunnies in South Dakota. And just now we find out that something odd is happening with the squirrels too, and they're saying that it's a virus. We'll get to the scariest scenario in just 1 minute, but completely 1000% unrelated. Can frequency cause mold growth? Can. Now back to our animal. Does this not look like mold growth to y'all? Does this not look like mold growth to y'all? It looks like mold, fungus. You can see that really clear right here behind his ears. Let me stop right here and say I'm not a doctor. Of course, they're right, and it's a virus. And then now all of a sudden we have these squirrels acting up, having a very weird coat of blisters and other kinds of sores on them. Coincidentally, the same exact time. 1000% unrelated, again, not related whatsoever. I just want to show you something cool. Check out this crazy weather radar. And this one. And unrelated again, check out this crazy one that I got sent to me that was in Arkansas. That's wild, isn't it? I really wonder what that could be. Back to the subject, these zombie animals are being seen everywhere, but largely, as you can see, in the Midwest. When something like this presents itself and starts multiplying between different species, we need to look at the environment that they're in. The scary part, if this can happen to them, what would whatever it is do to us? You wanna know what's wild? You remember the GOV having a literal zombie training course, like what to do about zombies, and it even said on the zombie thing that it's not a game, it's a real life thing. Wild.
On the morning of August 7th, 1981, a 34-year-old wildlife photographer named Carl McCunn stood on the edge of a lake in the Alaskan wilderness and chucked a box of ammunition into the water. Carl was on the last day of a 5-month-long solo camping trip in a very remote area of northern Alaska. A plane had dropped him off here in early spring, and he had set up his tent by this lake. No people around for at least 100 miles. Carl looked up into the sky and listened carefully for the low roar of the plane that was supposed to pick him up today. The type of plane that was going to be picking him up today, it was his buddy Rory's plane. It was really small. He didn't need all of his ammo, so that's why he was chucking his ammo into the lake. And he decided that, you know what, I'll hold on to at least one box of ammunition. It was about mid-afternoon, and still no sign of the plane. The sun was beginning to set. This far north, the sun stayed out for nearly 20 hours a day in the summer. That meant it had to be near midnight. Carl knew his friend had officially missed the date, and finally he had to reset up his tent, but then another day came and went, and then another, and still no plane. Carl remembered something that made him feel sick to his stomach. On the night 6 months earlier, when he and Rory had discussed pickup plans, Carl remembered that night had been filled with drinking. Rory had also said that he would have to check his schedule first, and Carl, in his excitement about going on this trip, had just forgotten to follow up with Rory and make absolutely sure he could pick him up. Rory wasn't coming, and all of this meant now Carl was going to face a brutal Alaskan winter all by himself. But sure enough, he looked up into the sky. He saw a plane flying directly towards his camp. Carl ran in his tent and grabbed the most brightly colored thing he could find, his sleeping bag, which was bright orange, and began waving it back and forth to get the pilot's attention. Carl saw the plane belonged to the Alaska State Troopers. Carl could actually see the pilot looking back at him. He threw his fist up in the air in excitement. The plane just kept on flying away from Carl's campsite until it disappeared over the horizon. Lying inside his tent that night, Carl couldn't sleep. He didn't understand, why didn't they stop? Carl has been stranded for weeks. He has read all of his books. He was looking for literally anything else to read. And suddenly he found something, his hunting license. Then he saw something that made his heart practically stop. He suddenly understood why that pilot had left him. By October, Carl was getting really skinny. By November, Carl was genuinely starving. On November 26th, Thanksgiving Day, Carl laid inside of his tent and made a diary entry. He wrote, "They say it doesn't hurt." Then he reached for his rifle and his last box of ammo. A single shot rang out across the lake. A couple months later, Alaska State Troopers would find Carl. Carl was deceased. What Carl had only realized later was that fist pump had sealed his fate because, like it said on Carl's hunting license, a single arm raised in the air is the universally recognized body sign for all okay, do not wait. If Carl had only read that hunting license a little bit sooner, he would have known to have raised 2 hands in the air for the universal sign that means pick me up.
Gone airborne, and that's the edge. That's actually the edge.
It's real. The actual map boundary. We found it. The entire planet ends here, and we're just driving along the edge, looking down into space. Whoa, and it doesn't even feel real. The stars are so much bigger from here. We're attempting to climb down the map boundary tonight. We need to see what's down there. Greg is going down first. Whoa. What? Nothing. You've got it. Yeah, so Greg got smoked. The rope started falling so fast, and then bro was gone.
We're calling it for tonight. Too much risk after Greg. We'll try again tomorrow. We're 2 steps away from falling off the face of the earth.
Something's going on outside. I think Greg's back? Carl, holy shit, Greg! You're alive, bro!
Dude, what did you see down there? You have to tell us.
You're not gonna believe it. The Earth, it's actually...
All right, I'm going to ask you a question that's going to lead to a question that's going to lead to the answer you're going to give me right over here. First, do you believe in science or the Bible? All right, next, how can the earth be round if the angels stood at the four corners of the earth holding back the winds? Revelation chapter 7 verse 1. And after these things I saw four angels standing on the four corners of the earth, holding the four winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. If the earth is round, then it has no corners, because a circle has no corners. And if God that made the earth said that he had four angels standing at the four corners on earth, then is the earth square? Like Minecraft? Or is the earth round? Like NASA told you? Ooh. Didn't we find out some pretty damning things about NASA? That there's a lot of CGI that was used? Ooh. So, is it four corners? Or is it round? Let me know in the comments.
Hey! Break the window. The whole house is dark anyway. There's one brick. Dad, your shoulder. Brick. Hey, keep going, keep going. Move. Keep going. All right, that's what I want to drive. There's a dog in there. Move. Hold my hands. Take your hands up. All right. Come here, doggy. The dog. Come here. See, it's in the bathroom.
Enzo, be careful in there.
All right. Nobody animals. No animals? Well, the animals out? Here. Get him out. Where's the dog? Okay, let's go. Grab the dog. I got him more.
This is the real Ronald McDonald, not the one you remember from commercials. The smell of red paint, the silence of 12 missing children. In 1892, a drifter named Ronald McDonald toured county fairs across the Midwest. Bright red coat, yellow waistcoat, white gloves to the elbows, a painted smile so wide it cut into his cheeks. He called his tent the Happy Meal. Admission was free for children. Inside, the light was dim. The air smelled of sweet bread and varnish. Each child got a small paper box, red, with a yellow emblem brushed on the side. Inside, a soft bun, a slice of cold meat, a hand-carved wooden toy, and a card. Eat up. Come back tomorrow. Parents saw nothing wrong, but children stepped out pale and silent. Some wouldn't eat for days. Some wouldn't speak at all. By summer's end, 12 children had vanished from towns where his tent appeared. When the law searched his wagon, they found it empty, except for a crate of red paint, yellow cloth, and dozens of unused paper boxes. 20 years later, an advertising company in Chicago bought an old fairground poster to inspire a new mascot for a growing restaurant chain. They kept the name, they kept the colors, they kept the smile, and every time you've seen it since, you've been looking at a killer's face.
So if you still don't know about the Grand Canyon, if you don't know about giants living in North America, yes, cannibalist giants, flesh-eating giants, running around, eating their adversaries and wearing their hands on their waist. If you have any doubts, you came to the right place. Some receipts in this video. First and foremost, the gentleman that you're looking for, if you want to connect your research, you want to try to figure out exactly who is behind the big fix, you know, who is the person that the Smithsonian would call to make sure that everything really went right and, you know, that nothing slipped out. Well, his name is Dr. Hay. I put it right on the screen here for you. That's important because while this gentleman was running around to all these things that they say are conspiracies, funny that they were sending this same person. And meanwhile, he amassed the largest collection of artifacts in North America. And when he passed on, he donated them to the Smithsonian. Now, if that's not a two-step, that they're working on these sites, folks, our history should not be a mystery. And it is because of the corruption and the lies that cover up the truth of our history. And I'm grateful that TikTok did this so that we can bear down on some history as we do in our lives. We've done a live every day this week. We've given out a free book every day this week. So unlike the other people on TikTok and the other applications that are driving you towards a race war, we are bringing you to the truth. We are offering it to you for free. You don't have to spend $50 on manufactured books that were made up with crayons. Here, you're going to get actual history books for free. We brought one on every night this week. Tonight, it's 2 free books. Please share this. Please boost it. The truth about history and about who we are and where we come from in North America and why we have cannibalistic giants running around that they won't tell us about. Why in the Grand Canyon did they find Egyptian-style, Tibetan-style artifacts? And why was Dr. Hay everywhere, here in Georgia too? Next week, we're going to take you up to the Salti Nakuchi Mound, where you're going to read on a sign that's carved in cast iron that Dr. Hay was there. This person is behind most of the major things that you think are not true. He was in charge of making sure that the information got handled correctly. Again, he amassed this giant collection, and when he passed on so that it would never be seen, he donated it to the Smithsonian. So I'm grateful for your time. Please come over to Human Origins Revealed and join the conversation of authentic truth of the original people of North America, okay, where we celebrate the original East Coast tribes that you don't even know their names. You don't know about the Massawomacks. You don't even know the Susquehannocks' real name, the Shayikbi, the Mengwe, the Allegheny, the Lenape. You see, you know the names that they wanted you to know. And we're going to teach you the names that you need to know. So please come support us at Human Origins Revealed. We are trying to protect ancient civilization sites. We need to raise awareness like we will be later tonight. We took some video live at Island Field today, and we hope to share that here in a little bit. We may go live before I even share this video because we have one of my friends right out in an ancient, registered, major national burial ground right now. So again, we're not just sitting behind the keyboard playing by ourselves. We're out here bringing history to you. So thank you for your time. I look forward to seeing you out there. Human Origins Revealed. Please come check us out. Like this video. Please share and please follow.
We have 5 suns over the horizon. Polar plains behind the ice wall.
This is the true story behind Teletubbies, and it's disturbing. In 1953, the U.S. government ran a top-secret experiment in the hills of Washington state. They built a massive isolated testing ground, 4 artificial hills with antennas planted in each one. Locals called it the Baby Tower Project. Its goal? To test how infants respond to continuous exposure to visual signals without human contact. 4 babies, each placed in a separate dome, surrounded by screens, cameras, and one machine that fed them pre-recorded images 24 hours a day, colors, shapes, faces, over and over and over again. By age 2, they had never heard a human voice, never touched a real person. They only mimicked what they saw. Surveillance logs describe strange behavior, giggling at static, dancing in sync, speaking in nonsense code. One entry read, "Subject 3 stared at the camera for 6 hours straight, did not blink, smiled the entire time." Eventually, the program was shut down. No explanation, all files erased. But here's where it gets creepy. In 1997, a British producer pitched a kids' show about 4 beings living in hills, with TVs in their stomachs, speaking gibberish and laughing at random sounds. He said the idea came to him in a dream, but internet sleuths found that his grandfather had worked on the Baby Tower Project. So now the question is, were the Teletubbies just characters, or were they real?
Her uncle, David Miscavige, is the leader of Scientology, and now she's on TikTok posting videos every single day of what she knows and what she experienced, and it is absolutely wild. I don't know how this is not getting more attention. I'm going to play you the first video she posted, and I recommend you follow along and listen to what she's saying.
Hi, I'm Jenna Miscavige. My uncle David Miscavige is the leader of Scientology, and I escaped when I was 22. I was born and raised in Scientology, and I never lived in a home with my parents only a dorm with a bunch of other kids. When I was 7 years old, I was made to sign a billion-year contract dedicating my soul to Scientology's paramilitary organization. From the time I was 12 until I was 18 years old, I was moved across the country from my parents, and I was forbidden to call them and physically restrained from doing so. I worked 12-hour days, 7 days a week, for as little as $12 of pay. I had no standard education or diploma, just a couple hours a week of Scientology-style schooling. I even lived at the Scientology Recruiting Center in Hollywood for a couple of years. I escaped at 22 after they tried to separate me from my husband and threatened to ruin his family. A few years later, I finally spoke out when they would not stop harassing me or having me followed or causing problems at my work and inserting spies into my life. If you want to learn more about life inside Scientology, then follow me.
I'm from outer space, I got Milky Way for blood, evolution in my veins. I'm gone, I've been far away, I'm illuminated now, make a move, start the waves. I've been breathing on my fire for a long time. I had a vision from the place they want to go inside. I'm officially delegated away. I'm your future, past and present, I'm the fine line. Yeah, I'm a listening of this illusion. I am not really here, I'm an intrusion. I don't swim or sing, I just flow. I don't need gravity, I don't need roll. When I move, it's in a quick rumble. I will never ever fall, never stumble. And I don't need to be humble. Break down walls like Jericho. When I'm
Something massive is going on all over the earth. I have a lot to show you guys, and it's not a good thing. Wait until you see what I found. I truly don't even know where to start. We have some sources right now saying as many as 300 people have died in Pakistan due to all this crazy flooding. By the way, absolutely unrelated, not relevant whatsoever. Did y'all forget that Pakistan was just visited by the green comet? What was that name for that other green comet? Oh, it was the Devil's Comet. The same exact color comet that visited at the time of the eclipse, the same exact color comet that went over Spain before all that crazy flooding, and now it's crazy fire all over Europe. Sorry. Come right back to the fires because cars are melting again. But this right here is just unreal. And the last few weeks I've been showing you guys this, and no news seems to want us to cover it. They might be doing it now, but Greece has been on fire, Turkey on fire, Spain on fire. But now since everyone's paying attention, it's been on fire over there for a month, right? And we've had cars quite literally melting. The glass, the aluminum, the wheels, everything. Like, how is it possible that all of Europe has been on fire for straight months with no way to put it out? We have, again, cars melting, and also in that video I showed you an unrelated magazine cover. And while we're talking about weather, completely 1000% unrelated, we just had the sky turning dark purple in a few states yesterday. Wonder what that could mean. And this is South Korea right now. Do you remember a few weeks ago what happened in South Korea? This up here just happened in South Korea. So 1 month is on fire, the next it's flooding. I'm just at a loss of words at this point. Oh, and by the way, with the fires, in just Greece alone, they have 5,000 active firefighters. But these flames just never go out, and they melt cars. And even right now in California, we have 130,000 acres burning in one location. But I guess that's just the world that we live in, right? And completely not unrelated, we have Hurricane Erin, which keeps trending more south. I feel very strongly that it's going to smash into the Carolinas. It's too soon to tell. Oh, and totally don't forget that last month we just had the Gray Man, this ghost that's in Pawleys Island, South Carolina, that supposedly warns of hurricanes that are coming. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, we're at 26,000 feet. We are in a vertical dive, not a dive yet, but we've lost vertical control of our airplane. 261, roger. Got it back under control there. How are you? 261, see your condition. 261, we're at 24,000 feet. We're blowing here, and we're going to do a little troubleshooting.
X-ray, you do have that airplane quite high and up at 12 o'clock. You just gotta keep your eye on him. He's having some pretty bad problems up there right now, as far as we know right now. He doesn't have any intent to go below 17,000, but keep your eye on him, okay? X-ray. 50 X-ray. That plane has just started to do a big
hit the water. Down. Yeah, we're out of...